I'm sure you can see my screen now, and I'm going to play right away. Yeah.
Our story. Foodpreneurs Hub was born out of passion in the year 2019 and was run by Oloshala Oledejo. She was a one-woman army at that time. Over the years, the brand has grown massively and has impacted thousands of lives and is still counting. Looking back, we can be proud of a few of our achievements. We have launched 5 online tailored courses that help aspiring entrepreneurs start their profitable journey. We have organized over 20 webinars. We have over 3,000 plus community members. To better position ourselves for future impact at scale, we excitedly welcomed our co-founder and COO, Yasola Oak. We are back with new looks but remain consistent with our aim of empowering African. Join the Foodpreneurs Hub family today. Our journey. Our story. Foodpreneurs Hub was born out of passion in the year 2019 and was run by Oloshala Oledejo. She was a one-woman army at that time. Over the years, the brand has grown massively and has impacted thousands of lives and is still counting. Looking back, we can be proud of a few of our achievements. We have launched 5 online tailored courses that help aspiring entrepreneurs start their profitable journey. We have organized over 20 webinars. We have over to better position ourselves for future impact at scale. We excitedly welcomed our co-founder and COO, Yasola Oak. We are back with new looks but remain consistent with our aim of empowering African. Join the Foodpreneurs Hub family today.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that you know where we are coming from now, and that's what we've done so far. Yeah. You know where we are coming from now, what we've done so far. Thank you so much. But I just need to put a touch to some of the AI, the words that you are hearing. Is Yosola okay, right? Is it okay or okay? Not Yosola Oak. So
Okay, Yosola.
yeah, okay, thank you. Yosola okay, and it's also Olusola Oladejo. Not I don't know. I was trying to get exactly what he was trying to say. Yeah, but of course we know that. I just want you to please unmute, put your hands together for what they've done so far, wonderful things that they have done so far. I need you to unmute any way you can, just or use virtual hands and kind of applause for them. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, wonderful people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Sola.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for what you are
doing.
Thank
you,
thank
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
right
you,
now,
thank you,
right
thank
now,
you.
I'm inviting.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I still want to hear. There's nothing bad in saying thank you. She brought us together here. Right. So let's say thank you to her. Let's say thank you to her. Yeah, thank you. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right now, I want to invite the host for today, the Foodpreneur Hub founder herself. She is someone that I love so much. I hope her husband is not listening to me. Yeah. All right. So it's someone I love so much. I love her passion. And right where we met somewhere back then in Nigeria. And out of everyone that you see, you could see something different about her and wonderful things that she has been doing. I'm going to read a little of her biography. I'm not sure she wants me to do that, but she's someone that is very quiet. She doesn't like any noise, doesn't like anything, but quite a wonderful achievement and wonderful thing that she has done. So, I'm going to call her full name. Her name is Olusola Olutosin Oladejo. She's a co-founder of Foodpreneur Hub International. So, Olusola is a food technologist. She's passionate about the food processing industry in Nigeria. She holds a bachelor's degree in food science, nutrition from the Federal University of Technology in Minna. and a master's degree in food technology from the University of Ibadan, Oyo State. She has over 7 years of experience in startup and multinational food company opening, from product development and improvement, laboratory management, training, customer insight gathering, quality controls and insurance, regulatory affairs, and food processing. She has worked for multinational food companies like UAC, Levite Food, and the largest flour milling industry in the whole world, Flour Mills of Nigerian PLC, right? She started her career in quality control and assurance department of Leventis Food, where she occupied various roles such as quality officer, quality compliance, and safety officers, laboratory and regulatory affairs managers, and later became the food and bakery technologies at Flour Mills of Nigerian PLC, where she has helped in the development of food products. Olusola is also the founder of Foodpreneurs Hub, where we are here today, an online platform created to support food entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs by sharing food processing articles and target online content in her bid to celebrate food entrepreneur and motivations, aspirations, aspiring entrepreneur. She hosts professionals and entrepreneurs in food industry on Instagram live sections via Foodpreneur Hubs. If you are not there, please go and join. It's on Instagram and also on YouTube. She also facilitates online training such as starting a bakery business, oil extraction business, and a pandoyam business to empower people with the right knowledge to establish success food business and food business. She has also consulted for food businesses to develop gluten-free pasta, pounded yam, flour, and pounded yam fries. Wow. Her research and publications include the effects of gamma radiations in the physiochemical properties of sesame oil and the functional property of sesame protein isolate. She has her publications that the quality characteristics of cookies prepared from unripe bananas and defeated sesame food are blend in African journals of food technologies. Wow, you can search it and get it. So Olusola has done great things and wonderful things. She's presently pursuing her MBA at Georgia Institute of Technology. Without much ado, please join me as I welcome Olusola on board. Please put your hands together for Olusola. Again, thank you. Put your hands together for Olusola. Yeah, virtual hand. Thank you, Olusola. Over to you today. We are ready to learn. Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toba, for that. Amazing. I didn't know you were going to do that, but thank you for doing it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support too. I really do appreciate it. I don't know if anyone can see my screen. If you can see my screen, just say yes. Okay. And
yes,
so I'm
Yes, we can see
okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to be actually welcoming you to today's session, and this team, food innovation for food security, is not just a fad. It is our way of welcoming you to ensure that Africa and the world, we attain food security. Sorry, I'm going to be reading this, so just give me a minute, and yeah. Okay. So This summit is the first of numerous summits organized by Foodpreneurs Hub. The Foodpreneurs Hub is born out of the desire to empower others to start food processing business, serving as a source of income for individuals while enhancing food security by eliminating and reducing post-harvest losses of our agricultural produce. The desire, which started as a blog, has grown to launching 5 online courses that has been read recently by Toba. We've trained over 20 people. We've collaborated with 3 startups to develop new products, and we've had over 4,000 followers on all our social media handles, 2,500 plus subscribed members, and hosting 20 plus online events and webinars. So Foodpreneurs Hub is registered in Nigeria. It was registered in 2021, and it's also registered in the United States as a corporation. We welcome our co-founder, Yosola Oke, this year to the team. Last year during the Create X program, where we also secure a funding opportunity of over $500,000 by the Fusion deal. And we also welcome our marketing sales team, sales lead this year, Joshua Abiye. Foodpreneurs Hub is definitely benefiting from the years of experience of those people. Together, we are ready to achieve our vision and mission through our values. This conference is centered on collaboration, and we call on everyone to come together and play their part in helping the continent of Africa achieve food security and zero hunger. The theme of the conference, Innovation for Food Security, is not just a fad, like I said earlier on, but a calling. We cannot continue to do things the way we've always done them and expect a different outcome. To achieve food security for Africa, we must be ready to do things differently. I am not suggesting we discard all that we've been doing, but we should be prepared to discard what is not working, build on what is working, and adopt new ways. One of such ways is collaboration, and that is why we are here. This summit, it consists of the food professionals. So we have 3 audience here. We have the food professionals. We have people in the food industry that they are entrepreneurs. They have their own business. And we also have people that are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. They might be students, they might be graduates. And we believe that the exchange of knowledge from the food professionals is crucial for the growth of the private sector. All our research papers in higher education can be used in establishing successful businesses in our continent. For example, my research into sesame seed when I was an undergraduate was converted into me starting a sesame oil business and extracting oil from sesame seed. So that's an example of converting our knowledge in the research world into profitable businesses in the private sector. In furthering this collaboration, we're going to be sharing a link for interested individuals willing to collaborate with Foodpreneurs Hub. And when we share that link, please fill it out and let us know how you can be part of this collaboration. I also want to express gratitude to all our guest speakers, facilitators, and panelists invited to share their wealth of experience and knowledge today. Thank you for accepting all our invites. Some of them I've met them personally, some have not, but they accepted our invitation. This shows their commitment to food security for the Black people and the African continent. Thank you for your time. Thank you for responding to all our emails. So what's next for Foodpreneurs Hub? So what's next for Foodpreneurs Hub? Sorry. Okay. So what's next for Foodpreneurs Hub? We are launching our first food processing business school targeted at supporting aspiring entrepreneurs to start their food businesses. This program will enable aspiring entrepreneurs to come into the programs with their ideas and live with their product in 16 weeks. This program contains practical modules such as food product idea generation, business registration, customer discovery, food processing, product development, materials and equipment, quality control and assurance. It will also involve you learning about standard operating procedures, food processing, food preservation and packaging. This is not your usual training. This is not theoretical. We are going to be having a practical session. Every week is dedicated for you doing it. And at the end of those 16 weeks, you come out with your product. And if you're looking for a program to help you through the process of starting your food processing business with clarity, no confusion, and with speed and having access to mentors, eliminating confusions and procrastination, then you need to register for this 16-week program to this conference. Having said that, if you know you are not burning with desire and you are not committed and dedicated to the process of your ideas into fruition, please do not register. Foodpreneurs Hub is interested in your result and your success. We can only achieve this together if you're committed. So the registration fee is 50,000 naira, but we're going to be giving it as a 50% discount for people that attended and register for this summit for 25,000 naira. If you're using dollars, that's $50, but you're going to be having it for $25. The discounts end at the end of the summit, 14th of January. And on that note, I welcome you all once again to the summit. Please listen, ask questions, engage, and I encourage you to network with others because you never know who you're meeting and talking to that will be of help to you. So thank you. Welcome to the summit and enjoy it. Engage and ask questions. Thank you. Over to you, Toba.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you, Olushola, for this wonderful welcome speech that we've had from you. We really appreciate you. And please, guys, I'm encouraging you. You see what is happening here? Please register. Register. Yeah. You can see it's class down on, and somebody was saying that she wants to gain a skill that will help her to transform her life in 2024. This is like investment for your career, investment for what you want to do, and investment for your future. Please do that. Register, scan the code that you are seeing right on your screen and register right now. Please register, register, register. Let me see your hand if you have registered. Thank you. Right about now, without wasting much of your time, I'm bringing up someone that I have been admiring for a while. I'm not sure she will know. This is someone that one of the things that I love doing is speaking, right? And when you see people that are award winners, the best thing you can do is to go and learn from them. And this is someone that a third speaker, really, and wonderful person. She has won different awards, wonderful award, things that, and she has developed different strategy for different organizations. By the time I begin to read her biography, you understand what I'm saying. And I'm here today to just introduce her, and it's a great privilege. I want to start from where Shola stopped. She said something that you don't know who you are meeting. You don't know exactly who you are going to meet during this program. We have different program that is lining up today, and the sections will be available for you to bond and meet with people and also develop, have your interest coming over. So exactly what we're going to do today. But right now, I want to invite our first speaker. And this person, I told you that someone I've been admiring a lot. I'm sure that if LinkedIn, okay, maybe LinkedIn don't report, but people will be reporting to her underground that this guy has been following you, have been watching things that you do, right? So it's no other person that Ndidi Okonko Nwuneli is an expert on food ecosystems, entrepreneurship, social innovations, and youth development. You will know why I'm interested in her now. So she has over 25 years of international development experience and is a founder of what? Live Africa. If you have not had Live Africa, that means you are not in Africa, or maybe you are not an African. Yeah, Live Africa. Yeah, changing narratives, Africa, and African food change makers. Wow. She is also the co-founder of Sahel Consulting Agricultural and Nutrition Limited and AACE Food Processing and Distribution Limited. Ndidi serve on the board of the Rockefeller Foundation's the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, which is we popularly know as GAIN, AGRA, Nigerian Breweries PLC, Heineken, and Grudges Consumer Products Limited, that's India, in India. Stanbic IBTC Group, wow. The global leadership of World Economic Forum and the BRICS Group, wow. Ndidi holds an MBA from the Harvard Business School and an undergraduate degree with honors from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Sorry, right. She was a senior fellow at the Mozambique Ramani's Center for Business and Government at the Harvard Kennedy School, a visiting scholar at Masbell School of Public Policy at McGill University, an Aspen Institute New Voice Fellow, and an Essential Fellow. Wow. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. Now it comes to my best part of her story. Listen, Ndidi is a TED speaker. She was recognized as a SWAP fellow and a young global leader by the World Economic Forum. And she has received numerous awards and recognition, including national honor by the Nigerian government by the Nigerian government. In case you don't know, that's the highest award that you can receive as a citizen. Yeah. So, and Nigerian government and the 2021 Harvard Business School Distinguished Alumni Award. She's the author of Social Innovations in Africa and a practical guide for scaling impact and food entrepreneurs in Africa. She's scaling resilience agricultural business, both published by Routledge and listen to me, you will know the reason why she got all these things that she have done. You will know the reason why she got all these things. She said she's working for God in the marketplace. Wow, why not? Why not? Why not? Why won't God lift her? Thank you, everyone. Please join me. Put your hands together. If you want to unmute, please do so. Under normal circumstances, we're supposed to stand up and welcome her. Please unmute if you want to do that. Please unmute, and put a hand together. Let's welcome her on board. Thank you so much, Ndidi. Let's have you.
Thank you so much.
Let's
you're a real hype master.
Please, sit down. Just picture your mind that she's coming on the she's coming from the first row and she's climbing up. She's on the top now. I want to give her the mic. Continue to clap.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen.
Unfortunately, my video is not working. I was trying to transfer to another screen, but I have a presentation, so you don't really need to see me. It's an honor and privilege to be here. And congratulations to the team on this great initiative. I'm so excited about the focus on food processing and the opportunity to share with you. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So basically today I'm going to be talking about food processing, but I want to set the stage for the current realities we're currently facing, some of the steps I've taken and others are taking, where opportunities lie for food processing and what we must do together. So I started this food ecosystem journey when I moved to the US, and I know some of your members are abroad, and I was confronted with this single story, the face of Africa being a hungry child, and the face of poverty being a female farmer from Africa. This narrative made me angry. because it's a single story and it's dangerous. There are hungry people everywhere, and Africa doesn't have a monopoly on that. And also because we're naturally endowed for agricultural excellence, we should be feeding ourselves and the world. Not only is our population engaged in agriculture, but we actually grow some of the best food in the world. In fact, if you zero in on Nigeria and look at, cassava, you look at okra, you look at sesame, you look at cashew, and all the products that grow well here, you realize there's no reason why we should be a net importer of food or should have double-digit food inflation. Across the states, we have a comparative and competitive advantage in key value chains, from cotton and millets and rice and palm oil and aquaculture to yam and cowpea. And yet, we continue to have a challenge with malnutrition in Nigeria, and the average Nigerian family cannot afford a healthy diet. Unfortunately, this has led to a lot of challenges with, high rates of malnutrition, high rates of sodium intake, growing issues with obesity and heart disease. And of course, we know that rates of cancer are rising because food is medicine. And if you don't have access to nutritious and healthy food, it affects you and your livelihoods. Beyond that, we have a challenge with food safety. And food safety is so important when you talk about food processing, because there's an industry called food fraud, where honey that we consume is not really honey. The spices are Sudan red, carcinogenic, that are maize, dyed red. The same with fish, many fish that is misnamed. Even what we call milk in Nigeria is questionable. And then we have poor and dangerous storage and practices where palm oil has additives or beans to keep the weevils out, has some really dangerous chemicals added. The plantain is dipped in something to make it ripen faster or not ripen faster. And the same with meat that's used. Well, some people use embalming agents to keep meats looking red, the same embalming agents we use for dead bodies. In fact, when we think about processed food from across the world, people have told me outside Nigeria that Africa is considered the sink of the world. So the food that the rest of the world doesn't want, they bring it to Africa and we buy it. And that's why it's so important to process food locally. So in 2009, my husband and I started a food company called Ace Foods, because we realized three things. We realized that 40 to 60% of our fruits and vegetables were going to waste, 20 to 30% of our grains and our roots and supers were going to waste, that our food we're eating in the country was largely processed food that was imported or fresh food from our farmers, and that many Nigerians were not processing. And we also realized that we had such high rates of malnutrition, which I've already discussed. So we started a food company called Ace Foods that would source locally, process for the local market, displace imports, and eventually export. Today, we have a range of SKUs, from single-serve products to snacks to flours to a range of seasonings and spices that are in the open-air market. We sell in bulk to FMCG companies that were historically importing, and we also export small quantities. Our mission is to provide nutritious and tasty food products from the best of West Africa's spices, herbs, cereals, and vegetables. And our vision is to be the preferred provider of food from Africa, thereby contributing significantly to the improved nutritional status of our people. And one of our values is proudly West African. When we started, we really realized that you have to start small when you're processing, because you make a lot of mistakes along the way. So we actually started operations in 2010. And now, as I mentioned, we have about 20 SKUs in 170 retail stores, 155 full-time employees, 90% of them are women, and we source from 10,000 smallholder farmers. And what makes us unique? First, that we're sourcing the best from West Africa, that we're committed to 100% natural ingredients, that our team cleans without adding anything, and we clean and dry and make sure that it's healthy from everybody, and it's from farm to fork. Now, one of the key lessons we learned from Ace Foods, and it's always important when you tell a story to be honest about the story. 3 lessons. The first was product failure. Spices were not our first set of products. That's why I always said start small and test the market. Our first set of products were jams. Some of you might know jam, like strawberry jam. We wanted to make proudly West African jams, mango jam, guava jam, pawpaw jam, agbalumo jam, which is udala. And agbalumo jam is actually the best jam because you don't need pectin, which is a gelling agent because it naturally gels. So we had so many varieties, pineapple, bisap, which is zobo jam. And this was in 2010, 2009. We won a business plan competition. You can see the beautiful branding. And unfortunately, the market was not ready. The market told us at the time, we don't know this type of jam. What is agbalumo jam? We want strawberry jam. And as you know, strawberries are only grown in one part of Nigeria, in Jos, and very small quantities. So we decided to eventually make a mixed fruit jam because most of our fruits are seasonal. And unfortunately, the mixed fruit jam ended up being more expensive than imported jam because most of what is imported is not real fruits, it's just water and sugar and pectin. And we wanted to use real fruit because we're focused on nutrition. So the market wasn't ready, we weren't ready. The raw materials and the supply chain was not ready because we didn't have enough quantities of fruits all year round and we were not competitively priced. The second key issue with this was that for jam to last for more than 6 months, it has to be in glass. And we quickly realized, after we finished finding all the recycled glass jars in all the dump sites in Lagos, that to be able to afford to produce enough glass for our business, we needed to, the smallest order the 2 glass manufacturers in Nigeria would take is 1 million glass jars, and we were not ready to make 1 million glass jars. The second key issue was bad debt. Many times you have distributors and suppliers. Suppliers say, I'm going to send you raw materials. They don't send you the right raw materials. One of our biggest and most popular products is yellow pepper. We once paid a distributor from Cameroon. It's Cameroon pepper. And unfortunately, this distributor disappeared with our money. You have that with with suppliers. You also have it with distributors who after 90 days, 120 days, they've disappeared. You go to their shop. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the hospital. Oh, I've traveled. Oh, my shop is closed. Long story. So getting payments after you've processed food and packaged it for them is a challenge. And then most Nigerians, when we started, thought that imported goods were higher quality. They thought imported goods were better for you. They didn't know that, look, proudly Nigerian products are good. We had to spend a lot of time changing mindsets about proud Nigerian products. And I'll tell you one last story. For all the entrepreneurs online, how many of you have trademarks for your products? So when we started ACE, ACE was supposed to be the parent company, but the brand was supposed to be Honor. Honor means jewel in my language, Igbo. And we quickly found out what is the trickiest thing. We got the trademark approval. It took us 6 months for Honor. We had all the branding messages for Honor. But then we got a lawyer write us a stinking letter telling us that we've copied somebody else's brand and we have to drop our brand. And they had not registered for a trademark. So they were bullying us, calling us from South Africa every day. And guess who this company was? Promasseter. And Promasseter's brand was Onga, not Honor. It was a different color, different shape, different brand, but they bullied us and we're a startup. So eventually we met with our board, and it's always good to have a board. And I said, you guys don't spend time fighting a giant in the industry. Just let go of ACE, Honor, and just stick with ACE. If you already have ACE approved, just stick with ACE. And that's how ACE became our brand name. So if you don't have a trademark, please get one today. It's very important. And guess what? Promasseter ended up becoming one of our first customers, buying bulk spices from us. So it all ended well. Now, beyond the ACE story, as we broaden it up, I've written this book called Food Entrepreneurs in Africa, Scaling Resilient Agriculture Businesses. I recommend you all get copies. They're electronic copies online. It's only 2,500. And I interviewed entrepreneurs across Africa who had built food companies who were scaling. And the key components of business models that scale, you have to have a business that is demand-driven with measurable value addition. You have to leverage technology, data, and innovation. You have to ensure that from the beginning, you're shaping the ecosystem. You're setting out the framework for your work. Your intervention has to be cost efficient and effective with dynamic systems and structures, simple, compelling branding, and it has to adapt to climate change. It has to be agile and mitigate risks and shocks. There will always be risks and shocks. So how do you mitigate them? COVID-19 was one, climate change is another. How are you mitigating? And as we think about the challenges in our ecosystem, how are we taking advantage of the gaps? Now in our context, devaluation, which makes imported products too expensive. How are we entering these gaps? How are we filling these spaces? And how can we make sure that we get into these landscapes? So we think about why processing. Why do we need food processing in our ecosystem? Because of the post-harvest losses I talked about. 40 to 60% of our fruits and vegetables go to waste. 76% of our tomatoes go to waste. Look at the fact that we still use these baskets in our ecosystem is ridiculous. All over the world, they've moved to crates. And the list goes on. And when we look at the processing that's going on, what is so sad is that there's so little processing. For cassava, only 10% of cassava is commercially processed. So while the mama might be grating cassava and frying it in her backyard, we don't have enough commercial processing. Companies like Saltree are still far and few between. For dairy, a sector we work in at Sahel Consulting, only 10% of dairy is processed into yogurt, into milk, into cheese, and companies that partner with us, such as Sebure Farms in Adamawa, or L&Z Yogurt in Kanu, or IDL Farm Fresh in Jos, are an exception, not the rule. With cocoa, only 30% is processed, maize, 60% because of mostly the poultry industry, rice, 25%, and 10% of our tomatoes are processed. So it just shows you the opportunities that exist in your landscape to process. We have to leverage innovation and technology. The way we processed 20 years ago is not the way we should be processing today. Similarly, when you think about processing, it's also important to think through how to raise awareness of proudly Nigerian or healthy food or fortified food and what you need to do to meet those standards. And I just want to mention, if you do basic processing of any type of flour, of oil, of sugar, of salt, you have to fortify it. There's a regulation in Nigeria around mandatory fortification in these value chains. Now, as you think about why should you process? Number one, for food security. It's so funny, every time we make fried rice, and for those of you who understand fried rice, we go and buy canned corn. This canned corn is imported from Thailand or Indonesia or China. Why are we importing canned corn? Because in our country, we only have corn one season because of the fact that we have rain-fed agriculture. And so people are canning and freezing vegetables from other parts of the world when we should be canning and freezing and drying. For those of you who are old enough to remember your grandmother used to dry maize. They used to dry it right in front of their homes so that all year round they had maize. We don't process, we don't can, we don't freeze, we don't preserve. And we need food security and we need to have food all year round at the same price. The second reason is there's an expanding middle class that understands the value of processed food and convenience foods. But I would like to stress it's not just enough to be convenience foods like instant noodles that have taken the market by storm. It has to be healthy. Unfortunately, instant noodles are not healthy for us. And for us, people who consume it on a daily basis, that's why we're having high rates of cancer and heart disease, right? And when I challenged the Nutrition Society of Nigeria about why they endorsed instant noodles, they said to me, oh, it's not a complete meal. You have to add egg, you have to add chicken, you have to add vegetables. And I said, the average Nigerian doesn't add all of those things to instant noodle. The third reason we need to process is for substitution. For every imported biscuits and for every imported product, we can find an alternative here, displace imports. Right now, more than ever before, we need you to process to displace imports. And then value chain linkages. There are opportunities across the board to enhance the value creation and the margins you make by linking to farmers. We also have a young, youthful population that also understands convenience. And we have shrinking disposable income for food. So people are looking for affordable and available food. And you see the convenience of gala on the streets or whatever else you buy off the streets, plantain chips, it's because people are looking for that convenience. Beyond spices and seasonings, which we do, and snacks, tremendous opportunities for processing tomatoes, for processing every single fruit and vegetable that we consume, for processing palm, for processing rice, for processing cassava. And I'll just delve into cassava for a bit. Our sister company, Sahel Capital, has invested in a company called Crest Agro in Kogi that processes high-quality cassava flour, not only for local markets, but for exports. Some of you know Sultry, that processes for local markets and for exports. They also supply to the Nestle's of this world and the Unilever's of this world that use it for fillers. But listen, only 15%, Brazil processes 65% of its cassava, Thailand 86%. In Nigeria, we process so little of our cassava. Similarly, for our tomatoes, so little processing is going on. We have a few companies like Tomato Jos that have started processing in Kaduna State. But apart from Tomato Jos, I think most companies still import their tomato puree and repackage, sadly. So beyond these opportunities, I'd like to say that one of the reasons I jumped on a chance to come and speak today is because of African food change makers, and Nosa is on the call. We started African food change makers actually when I was writing my book. As I traveled around Africa, I realized that most entrepreneurs didn't know each other who were in the space. They felt isolated. They didn't know how to get funding and support and data, and they didn't know how to get training and visibility. So I created an organization to provide a community of support, funding, data, and market opportunities, learning, and training. And a free portal. I encourage all of you entrepreneurs to please join in. Nosa has put in a link to join a community where you can get free data. You can search by value chain. You can search for funding by country, by value chain. Whether you want a grant or a loan, every day we update that website. There's free training on climate resilience, on trade, and free support for women entrepreneurs who want to scale and increase their visibility. We have a scaling export program, as I mentioned. We also have a Brace program. As I mentioned, we do a lot to support you we nominate our entrepreneurs, especially the ones who have processed food, packaged food products to go for trade fairs. Some of them went to IATF in Cairo. Some of them went to the Fidelity Bank conference in Houston. We nominated some of them to go to the Fancy Food Show in New York in the summer, and the list goes on. In addition to the training, the support, and the linkages, we also do a lot of original podcasts because we want the rest of the world to know that Africa has good food and that they will drive demand for African food. We have food festivals. We had one in Harvard where we talked about Africa's contributions to the global food ecosystem. We have a podcast on okra, and many of you might not know that okra is an Igbo word, and that okra from Nigeria has influenced the rest of the world. We have a lot of education around the best food from Africa and why African food should be celebrated around the world. And we also have a podcast called Crazy for Coffee, Embrace Its Roots, because most people don't know that coffee was born in Africa and that 18 countries in Africa produce some of the best coffee in the world, or that African chocolatiers are starting to compete globally, and that 2 countries in Africa produce some of the best chocolates in the world. And Coca-Cola, we always tell people that Coca-Cola was first made with cola nuts from West Africa. And so if you've had a hot chocolate, a Coke or coffee today, you have Africa to thank for it. And we started curating events where we have some celebrities cook. So we partnered with the Gates Foundation, and we actually had Bill Gates make fonio salad with Chef Pierre. And this was a very exciting initiative. And most recently in Egypt, we had an Hollywood celebrity, Boris Kijo, cook alongside the president of Afri-Exim Bank, Professor Rama, and some celebrity chefs from across Africa and the Caribbean. We also had jollof rice wars because we want people to know about jollof rice all over the world. And we had Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria. These are 3 entrepreneurs who are part of changing narratives, African food change makers. Unfortunately, Nigeria lost this, but next time we'll win. So as we round up, what is a call to action? First, I'd like all of you to become narrative changers. We have to change the narrative about our food. We have to ensure that people know that our food is high quality, it's nutritious, and that when they see a product that's branded made in Nigeria, proudly Nigerian, they know it's good quality, it's tasty, and that they should buy it. We have to invest in partnerships with other organizations, and that's why I commend Foodpreneurs Hub for reaching out to African food change makers, because the work is too much for one organization to take on. And I really believe we can partner and do more together. And I'm glad Nusa is here. And I really hope that together we can try to address some of the challenges of our food ecosystem. And as you guys train your entrepreneurs on processing, they should also become members of our hub so we can nominate them for different events all over the world and vice versa. One of my favorite African proverbs says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. Given the food crisis we're currently facing in Nigeria and across the world, we have to go fast and far together. We have conflict, we have climate change, and we have an economic crisis. And so we need the food ecosystem to work for us, not only to create jobs, but also to drive nutrition. And then another quote that I love says, and it's a Tibetan quote, it says, if I tell you my dream, you might forget it. If I act on my dream, perhaps you'll remember it. But if I involve you, it becomes your dream too. And my dream is that healthy food will become available, affordable, and accessible for those vulnerable in our communities. The fact that some Nigerian families are only eating one meal a day because of the hardship, it just breaks my heart. We have to do something about it. And that's why processing is so critical, because processing allows you to have food all year round. It allows you to buy at harvest, so we reduce the post-harvest losses and ensure that the food is sustained and that it's cost-effective for the average family. My second part of my dream is that we have to collectively change the face of Africa from a hungry child to a successful female entrepreneur, and we have to build bridges. I want Nigerian jollof to be more popular than Japanese sushi, Senegalese fonio to displace quinoa, Ethiopian teff to displace white flour, etc., etc. And this is the face of Africa I want us to see and the world to see. Children who are well nourished because of the food that we create, who have great lives, who go on to live and achieve their highest potential because we worked collaboratively together. I look forward to celebrating your successes. Please reach out to partner with African Food Change Makers and Sahel. God bless you all.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. We are so grateful. Thank you for your that great, very fast. How many minutes? Well loaded. So please, I need you to please, while we are putting our hands together, thank you. People are already doing it. Yeah. People who knows what I'm saying. Thank you. So while we are doing that, I need you to please prepare your questions. Why I mentioned some things. Basically, of course, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I love food science and technology, and I love food innovation stuff, I want to stand on the learning and development or the coaching aspect of food. And then what I'm getting from what she's saying may be definitely different from what you are getting. So both of us will be hearing the same thing, but getting different things. So I need you to please come up also with what you have learned so far and the questions that you want to ask. So I want to give you some things that I pick up from what her speech, a lot, but I'm going to say just 5. Yeah, just 5. A lot. You need to see my notes, very loaded. The first thing that I heard while she was speaking, she said, dishonest people can ruin your food business. So as far as we are concerned, whenever you are planning your food business, for those who are in the business and those who are aspiring to also join, please, as much as possible, deal with legal arrangement, put things together. Yeah, as much as possible. For those asking for the slide, don't worry, we'll get it across. Yeah. So or maybe those people that are joining the college will be what we'll give to. But I'm just coming. Hold on, we'll give you updates about, right. We'll give you updates about, okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. So they said something about dishonest people. So as far as you are concerned, as you are looking for people, try as much as possible to do your business with people who will not ruin your business. She explained how the business almost collapse just because of people around. So that's the first thing. She also mentioned about breaking into a new market. Say that there are so many things that you need when you want to break into a new market. Study the market, do survey of the market. Just know that there may be challenges that you will face. There may be things that you may face at the end of the day, but do not lose hope while you are still bringing into a new market. She also said, do not spend time fighting a giant in your industry. Very deep. Choose your fights. Choose your fights. Do not waste time. Spend a lot of time fighting giants in your industry. And she told me how the stuff now turned around. Like that so the quote that I got from her, but she didn't actually say that, but the quote I got from her was that your enemy can become your first customer if you can handle your conflict management properly. Wow. So if you can manage your conflict, the conflict that is happening in your industry, if you can manage it well, your enemy can become your first customer. She narrated her story. So let's learn from great people. She said also that you should take advantages of the gap that you have in your industry. Many people, one of the reasons why we are outside of the country, some of us that we are privileged to be outside the country, or some of us that we are privileged to stay in Nigeria and work, one of the major things you should be looking out for is the gap. Look for the gaps. She mentioned gaps in industry. She mentioned a lot of gaps. As you are witnessing the gaps, don't only discuss it, don't only joke with it, don't only fight it. Try as much as possible to take advantage of the gap. Because what you are saying, other people may not see it. This is not my talk. This is not my section to speak before I enter preaching. So, but take advantage of the gap that you have. You mentioned that also. He said, understand your market to leverage on the opportunities that are available. She also said, okra is an Igbo word from Nigeria. I will tell everybody in the UK. I'm going to that market now that they will put it okra in their mind as if it's an English word. I'll go there now today. I'll go and tell them that it's our food. We own it. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for opening our eyes to get that. And a lot of information that you have mentioned that I need you to please. So right now, I know many people will have different questions for her, and we want to give room for that. Yeah, who exactly is coming up for the first? And if you notice, NOSA has been posting the African Food Changemaker membership. It is free and open to entrepreneurs with business operations anywhere on the agricultural value chain, from farm to table, signing up. Oh wow, I can remember food packaging, food processing, from farm to table. She used that word. Yeah, so please just go to the link and join. Please, everybody join now. I know what I'm saying. Please join. Right, so I want to give opportunity for at least 3 people to ask questions. What are the things you were thinking while she was speaking? What are the advantages, the information that you know, right, so that you want to quickly pick up? Kindly please unmute. Just raise your hand while I call on you. Raise your hand, please. Raise your virtual hand, and I will call you to ask questions. So, but while we are still waiting for people that may want to ask questions, I want to also let us know that please, we have our business launch. Our business is launching a program, and if you check through the link also, please register for it, and immediately you can see it now. You can register for the food processing business quickly now. The link is in the chat box. Please kindly register for it. Man, please, we have, and today, as a result of what we are doing now, we have a lot of slash down for us. A lot of slash down. Okay, we are getting a feedback from someone that the NOSA that the page is not available. Please, when you click the page, remember there's a dot at the end of the join. There's a dot at the end of the join. Please clean that dot. Clean the full stop that is at the end of the join, so that you can have opportunity to join quickly. Yeah, if you're finding it difficult to join, right? So yes, who are the people that want to ask questions? Ma, we have a question for you here, right? That what do you think, Ma, with your wealth of knowledge in the food industry, that what do you think exactly is the major, like, if you are given the opportunity to handle the food problem in in Africa entirely, I'm not speaking about Nigeria now, with your wealth of knowledge and where you have been so far, what exactly one thing that you know is the priority that we must do right now? Because the voices are hearing you, man.
Well, it depends on who is asking the question. Which is the entrepreneur asking?
The president of Nigeria,
I was on
Nigeria is asking you, is asking me to ask you.
I was on Arise television this morning on the KPMG report talking about this issue. And I said that really the government has to create an enabling environment for SMEs in the food processing industry to thrive. The real heroes in the Nigerian ecosystem are the entrepreneurs who are fighting against all odds to survive. So we need incentives, we need tax breaks, we need subsidized financing, we need infrastructure that works. And I really encourage all of you to get into processing. If you go on the shelves today, even plantain chips that we used to buy for 500 naira for a bottle and or box or container, it's now 2,500 naira, right? So we need more processing because we need to reduce the prices or make it more affordable for the average Nigerian to eat. And why do we have such high cost of food in Nigeria? The highest in the world in terms of household income. Before COVID, 57% of household income was spent on food in Nigeria, the highest in the world. In America, it's 6%, right, of household income. So if a family spends over 50% of their income on food, what are they going to spend on health? What are they going to spend on education? What about clothing, entertainment, etc.? So we need to reduce post-harvest losses, and that means we have to process. So that's one. The second is we need to increase the productivity of our output, because once you start processing, you realize, okay, do I have enough? If I'm making plantain, can I source enough plantain all year round for my plantain chip factory, right? And what we often find is that some people have to stop production for a few months because they can't get supply. And that's why we need to increase the productivity of our farms. And this is where we need improved seeds. And Sahel Consulting, the other company I co-founded, works very much with IITA, NRCR, IAR to increase the productivity of farm lands and farmers so that we can have all year round production, irrigation, the right seeds, the right fertilizer, the right crop protection products, and post-harvest handling. So there's a lot to do in that area, but those are the two that I would say are the most important.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that great answer. I'm sure that you know that we are generations that we want to make use of opportunity, right? We are plugging in immediately, right? So please, I remember that about some years ago, let me say maybe 2 to 3 years ago, there was a dollar, exchange rate based. Let me use Nigeria for the context. Like the dollar, I remember there was someone who called me and asked me to buy dollar, which I did. And then at the end of the day, you know what the story is after 2 to 3 years now. Exactly, if you have to give us a foresight, like having these people, everybody, the over 70 or 80 people that we have on this call, if we are your team and you are building us up and you're asking us what exactly something about, I know you spoke about we should get into processing and do something. What again do you want us to plug in, like the gap that you are seeing, and how can we maximize the advantages of the gap that we see? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So for those of you who are looking for Forex, I'm a big advocate that we say process not just for the local market, also process for exports. Because, and don't just process basic dry ginger that you're selling, that is a commodity. Process ginger tea, right? So that you can compete with the best teas in the world. Process nutritious and healthy food for the world. And I like to use a few of our African food change makers. Somebody like Affion Williams has gotten her products into US shops, right? Real fruits. Her products are now there. Another one of our entrepreneurs who I really love is Ebu Feludu. Her company is called Jam the Coconut Company. She makes the best, she has a new name now for her company. No, sir, please put in the new name. And she makes the best coconut chips.
Are you in a meeting?
No.
Okay.
Apology, ma'am.
She makes the best coconut chips and coconut balls, not just for Nigeria, for the world. And we've had her pitch to major retail.
You are muted, ma'am.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Somebody muted me. So I said Ebun Felu makes coconut balls and coconut chips, and we've had her pitch to global companies. We took her to Dubai. She pitched to quite a few companies as well. And so that's an example of products that the average Nigerian might not spend a lot of money on coconut balls or dried mango chips, but abroad they will, right? They value it. So think about nutritious and tasty food the world values and get it on their shelves, get it into their stores. Is it easy? It's not easy, but we can help you do that. And that's one of the things we're pushing for. But beyond that, I think there's still a lot of opportunity in every aspect of the value chain, from inputs, which is fertilizer, equipment for irrigation, for spraying, all the way to chefs are making money now. So from farm to fork, chefs who are making proudly Nigerian food are making money all over the world now. We're seeing a renaissance, an appreciation for West African food. You live in London and you know that Lagos is actually a Michelin-rated restaurant and they're doing very well. And every day I hear about a new restaurant that has popped up in New York City or in London that's serving African food. There's another one called Akara in London that has all types of Akara, very exotic Akara, shrimp, and with, dumplings. And I love it. I love the fusion of our food with Western food to cater to international taste buds, because they can command a lot more money than what if we're just selling Akara the normal way. So there are lots of prospects available to us, and I'm excited about the opportunity to change narratives about African food. Thank you, Nosa. It's called Kokari Coconut Company. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. We have a lot of questions, but I'm going to ask another one again. Right?
There's
before I go
actually-
Just
into the
one.
There's one
One
in
last
the
question, please.
chat
Yes,
box.
one last question.
Yes, so I saw a question here. So he said, I'm about completing my MSc in food chemistry, and it has opened my eyes to a lot of gaps. What is your advice for someone like me looking to start small? I'm interested in yam and tomato processing.
Well, there's so much opportunity in yam. We spend a lot of time doing work on yam at Sahel, and yam is one of our best kept secrets from West Africa. It's not just yam flour, there are yam chips. I don't know how many of you know Simply. They actually export yam chips from Nigeria, frozen yam chips from Nigeria to Europe and to the rest of the world. There are all sorts of derivatives of yam that we can make that is easy to prepare. So I would really encourage you to look at yam because it has high margins. And tomato is a little more difficult because we don't have all of the right varieties here. I would suggest that if I were you, I would go and intern or work alongside a company already doing tomato in Nigeria because it's not easy. A lot of the people, there's a company that Captain Stew, fantastic product. It has tomato and pepper, and you just pop it in and you're ready to add your meat and the stew is ready. Whenever I'm traveling, everybody I know wants me to bring Captain Stew, and they just cannot meet demand, right? But there are challenges with supply chain because of how, unfortunately, the tomato industry has become so unstable that one minute is a basket of tomato is 3,000 naira, the next minute is 30,000 naira. Right, so that makes it a little harder because you can't store processed tomato, you can't store fresh tomato the way we currently harvest it, but you can store yams for up to 6 months, right? If you store them well, they won't go bad. So the challenge is for tomato, how do we get the right varieties that don't spoil as quickly? And how do we have cold storage? Otherwise, your supply chain issues will be immense, and that will affect your productivity all year round.